Hey budget friends, it's Steph with Stefsonabudget. Welcome back for another video. Today we're going to go ahead and set up our October budget calendar and get ready for the upcoming month. October for us is going to be a magic month, though I'm not actually going to look at it that way. The extra check will probably benefit us more in November than anything, and that'll make more sense when we jump on in. So we're looking at my October budget calendar. Super cute, super fun. We're getting ready for Halloween season here, friends. I've already gone ahead and stickered out my dates because that takes me an eternity. So we're gonna go ahead and map out our paydays, and then we're gonna start filling in our calendar. If you're new to my channel, I like to use the Budget Mom highlighter method. So that is what we are going to kind of essentially be setting up today so that we know how to budget out our paychecks in October. So like I said, we get 3 paychecks. I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 of these black payday stickers. This sticker book here is a budget sticker book. What's this one called? Budget Babe by Live Love Posh. She has some amazing sticker books, super fun. Okay, so we are going to get paid on the 3rd. Let me grab my tweezers, you guys. Okay, just so I can see where I'm putting things. Okay, so we're gonna get paid on the 3rd. We get paid bi-weekly. My husband and I both work full-time in healthcare. So we are paid on the same paydays. So we're gonna go ahead and budget or set up these 3 paychecks rather, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna get 3 paychecks, but you can see that last one's gonna fall on the 31st, which is after all of my expenses, and the month is pretty much over. So it's really not gonna benefit us much until November, most likely. But sometimes, usually where I see the benefit is I can kind of offload, you know, how am I trying to say this? So usually where I see the benefit of a magic month or an extra paycheck is not like this whole extra paycheck. That never happens for me. It's more so instead of paying my bills and my expenses in 2 pay periods, I can stretch that amount over 3. So the way it usually happens is each paycheck gets a little bit lighter on expenses versus having one totally freed up. So, okay, paydays are set. This is for the month of October. Let's bring in this Mojo Jojo Plans Dated book. October, we probably want to do orange. Let's see. I guess I can use that one, or let's see if we have we have this one. I think I'm just gonna go with the abbreviated one. Yeah, let's do that. That way we know what month we're working in. We'll bring in a little bit of orange here. You guys, October is always that looks crooked. It's gonna drive me bonkers. October, I'm gonna leave it though. October is always the last month in my budget book. If you flip to November, you can see this is November of 2024. And that is because when I started my budgeting journey, I started in October because that is usually when Budget Mom releases her new workbooks and whatnot. So I'm always kind of off schedule a little bit. Okay, next thing we're gonna wanna do is fill in all of our expenses. I also like to make a key over here. I have a couple of things here that are gonna be from September. So really quick, I'm gonna flip to, actually I don't need to. Our last payday in September was the 19th. So let's go ahead and make our key. 9/19, 10/3, 10/17, and 10/31. All right, those are our paydays that we're going to need to kind of highlight out. So let me fill these all in. Okay, next up is we're gonna go ahead and start filling in our expenses. So the way that I do this is every bill that has a due date of the 1st, I'm gonna go ahead and write in on the 1st, etc., etc. You guys, I think I'm gonna need to just kind of, I don't know, let me try to figure this out. I'm gonna tilt you a little bit. Always want to try to make sure you can still see. So I'm actually just going to start on this side here. That'll probably be the easiest. So on the 5th, we have a couple of things. So we've got our truck payment, a Paramount subscription. So you can see I'm going to just start writing everything in. We've got a couple of open credit cards, but they don't have any balances on them, so we're not going to owe any payments there, but I'm still going to keep them on my calendar. Nothing on 6 or 7. We're going to jump down to the 12th here. Looks like nothing there. The 13th, we've got our trailer. The 14th, we've got a water bill, quite a few on the 14th. Okay, and my water bill for this month came in at $197.50, kind of a higher one. So $197.50. So I'm gonna just put that in there. That way I don't have to go digging for that number when it's time to budget that out. Okay, we've got Kindle Unlimited and we've got a credit card. All right, we're gonna jump down to the 19th. We've got Netflix on the 19th and a credit card. Come on, pen, don't die on me now. Okay, on the 20th, we've got Discover, a couple credit cards here. The 21st, we have our car payment. Okay, down to the 26th. We've got Disney Plus, and we've got a credit card payment. The 27th, we've got a debt snowball payment, and I keep waiting for like some of these accounts to start closing, and I actually did have one account close last month. My card had expired and I got a thing saying they weren't going to renew it because I haven't used it in like 2+ years, so that's perfectly fine. All right, cell phones. We've got that bill. Okay, so that takes care of everything on that side. Let's go ahead and shuffle you over to this side. So I'm probably gonna be a little out of frame on the one, and because I'm gonna be up against the rings here, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pull this out a little bit for me. Okay, on the 1st, we have a Home Depot card. We don't have a balance on there right now. Nothing on the 2nd. Okay, on the 3rd, so usually on paydays, I split my mortgage into 2. So I am going to have to figure out where those 2 mortgage payments are going to fit best, because obviously I'm not going to have, well, I could split it out into 3. I've never done it that way. So we'll just kind of have to play the math game, if you will. So for now, I'm going to leave that off, but we do have our internet and again, a couple of credit cards. Okay. The 4th is nothing. We're going to come down to the 8th. We have our gas bill. Okay, and our gas bill this month is $51.85. All right. On the 9th, we've got Starlink. The 10th is our electric bill. And our electric bill came in at a whopping $367.04. That should start going down this next month here, hopefully. Although September for us seemed unseasonably warm. I felt like this past week, the air was just running like crazy for this time of year. So we'll see. Okay, back to the 10th. We also have a personal loan debt snowball, okay? And what that means is back in 2024, we paid off this personal loan, we paid off these ovens, and that bill has stayed in our budget to kind of snowball towards the next debt. So I leave it on the budget calendar and I just note it as a debt snowball payment. That way, if expenses are tight, I know I can easily drop that. There's not actually a payment due there. But if I can work it into my budget, I note it here and I try to budget that money so that I can put that towards our current debt, thus giving us like that bigger debt payment, right? Okay, nothing on the 11th. The 15th, we've got my favorite car insurance bill. Complete sarcasm there, you guys. All right, we've got Apple Music. The 16th, we have an Xbox subscription and a credit card. Okay, the 17th, we've got another credit card and that's payday. So we will likely have half of our mortgage somewhere. Nothing on the 18th. We're going to jump down to the 22nd and that, what's on the 22nd? We've got City 1. Okay. 23rd, we have a Kindle Unlimited. Nothing on the 24th, 25th has an iCloud subscription. Okay, jump into the 29th. We've got braces. I'm gonna put HSA here in parentheses because this braces payments comes out of my HSA, but I like to just check on it to make sure the money is in the HSA. And I believe, so Lily got her braces off this month, you guys. She's so excited and she's looking so good. But I think she ended up getting them off 2 months early. So I believe I have October and November, and then those are going to be finished, paid off. So that's exciting. Okay, and then we've got an Apple credit card that we're paying cell phones on. All right, you guys, I believe that is everything. So I'm gonna just leave that out for a minute. Let me just make sure I've got you recentered. You can see all the things. Okay, looking good. All right, so now that we filled out our expenses, what we need to do is we're gonna highlight per payday what we wanna pay, and we've got to do some math calculations here. All right, let me grab my highlighters. And for our September 19th paycheck, we had used this color. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that out. And we actually already paid our internet bill for September. So that bill is paid. So I'm gonna highlight it in that color. It's already done. So I don't have to try and work it into the paycheck on the 3rd. All right, so that color is done. Let's figure out on 10/3. All right, let's do pink. I'm trying to think of what colors are in this sticker book that I wanna use. Okay, so everything highlighted in pink needs to get paid on the 3rd. Then let's do gray, kind of keep it neutral. I don't think there's like a ton of orange, but we'll see here. So let's do gray. So everything on highlighted in gray will get paid with our check on the 17th. And then the 31st, I might not even worry about it because you can see it's not going to cover a single bill for us. This is going to cover everything in November. So I'm going to leave it there. I might just leave it off for the time being. Let's go ahead and grab a calculator. Okay, so I am going to, if I paid half my mortgage here, So that would be $11.43. I haven't written it in, but I'm going to just do the math and see where it's going to fit the best, right? Okay, and then I'm going to just work through all the way up to at least the 16th to figure out what needs to get paid. So here on the 5th, I have my big truck payment. We've got our Paramount subscription. These 2 credit cards are paid off. They don't have a payment. We've got, I'm just going to round up, okay, you guys? So 52 for our gas bill, 50 here, 367 for our electric bill. We've got that debt snowball. Our trailer, we got a $200 water bill, Kindle Unlimited. This is a debt snowball that I try to keep in there for $100. Car insurance for $556, Apple Music, and an Xbox. So you can see that is way too high of expenses. So I'm not going to put my half mortgage here. Okay, so let's see what that's going to look like. Okay, so without that half mortgage, we've got our truck payment, Paramount, our gas bill, our internet here, $367 for electricity, the $150, the $200. So I'm just kind of recalculating these out, you guys, because my truck payment and my car insurance are 2 of our highest bills. So when those are on together, it's really hard to kind of add anything else. $28.21 is much more doable for us. So we're going to go ahead and grab this pink one, and we're going to highlight everything in pink that we're going to pay with our October 3rd payday. Remember? So that's this. If I don't highlight it, you guys, it's because it is a paid off account, right? All right. So gas, this one, electric, this one. All right. We're just going highlighter crazy at this point, now that we've got that figured out. Okay. So all those things we are going to anticipate coming out on the 3rd. So let's do the 17th that we did in gray. Okay, for sure, we're gonna have to put half our mortgage here. And we are going to have to put half our mortgage here. Okay, right? All right, because we'll put these 2 together to make November's payment on the 1st. So squeaking it in. All right, so let's see, half our mortgage, that is paid off. We've got Netflix. This is a debt snowball. This is our current debt, so we have a minimum payment there. We have our car payment. We've got this debt snowball, another Kindle Unlimited, iCloud subscriptions, Disney Plus. We've got this debt snowball, our cell phones, and then we will have our Apple card. So $27.85 for that one. So that looks good. Let's highlight all of this in gray. I'm just gonna highlight that. Okay, and again, anything that I did not highlight is an open account, but it's paid off. We don't owe a payment there. The other thing I like to do with those is, let's pull this out. I like to find just some little icon sticker. We've been putting these little piggy banks, so let's just stick with those again this month. I'm gonna pull 5 of these. Okay, and the reason I'm pulling these is because I am gonna go ahead next to all the debt snowball payments that are highlighted, right? Like this personal loan. Remember I said, this is paid off, but I still pretend I have the bill to put towards my current debt to get that current debt paid off quicker. I'm putting the little icon next to it because it quickly identifies for me that if I cannot fit that in my budget, it's fine. I don't need to stress out. I can eliminate that from my budget and be okay, right? Because these don't have payments. So this is a debt snowball, this is a debt snowball, this is a debt snowball. The oven debt snowball, and there is one more. Help me find it, guys. It is this one. All right, let me just go through. We've got that one. It's this one, the Discover, right? Okay, so these are all paid off. Again, I had this question last time, so these are all paid off, but I still keep the money in my budget to roll into the next debt. And I like these little icons to quickly identify that if I couldn't fit it in the budget, I could quickly take that out and readjust, right? I don't have to have that in there. It's helping me in a way, but it's not a minimum payment. It's not required. So, okay. We do have this guy. Let's go ahead and pull in some October orange. So let's do 1031. And we're gonna highlight half of our mortgage for that. Our expenses are a little bit low on the gray. So like for the paycheck on the 17th. So most likely this is gonna carry over into November, right? So if I'm looking ahead, let's actually look, because I've got a little payday calendar here. In November, I don't get paid again until the 14th. So I need to, this check has to cover me October 31st all the way through November 13th. That's quite a bit of time. I can do like some quick math while I don't have November built out. So if I do my mortgage, and then I have to get all the way to the 13th, right, friends? So I've got to get all of this. So I've got my internet, my truck payment. I have no idea what my utilities are going to be. So we're just going to kind of pretend I'm at 2705 without my 2 utilities. I'm looking at 400 here between the 2. So I'm just going to add that in. That's going to put me at 3105. So I might want to look at rolling some money over in this paycheck to kind of help offset that little bit higher of expense. But that's why I like to work ahead a little bit. So I don't, because I like my paychecks to be pretty balanced. And when we went through it, remember this one was like about 2,800 and something, and this one's about 2,700 and something. And then I'm all the way up to 3,105 roughly. So to kind of offset that, I'd want to take some of this 3,105 and throw it here. So I might want to look ahead to see what I can maybe pay early, or maybe it's taking, I don't know, $200. Yeah. So if I took $200, that brings this down to 2,900, this paycheck, and roughly this one at about 2,900. I could take $200 and roll that over and throw that at like, my truck payment or something like that. So that's why I like to kind of work ahead a little bit, because I don't like things to be really heavy bills one paycheck and then like hardly any bills the next. I'd rather them be even out over the 2, and then things are kind of steady. So I hope that makes sense. But you guys, that is the highlight method. So what we've got left to do is to kind of decorate up this spread. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, and I'll come back and show you how that turned out, friends. All right, budget friends, we're back. We are ready. It is all set up. How freaking cute. I'm obsessed with how this turned out. So I already put my Halloween sticker book away. So it was a real pain. I'm not going to get it back out, but I used the new Halloween sticker book that I got from Happy Planner, which you guys saw in my Happy Planner haul. And then how cute are these little ghosts? I've had these forever. They are from JoJo's Pretty Paper Shop, and they're just these like the cutest little ghosts doing the daily activities. I love this one. But I couldn't fit it in there, so I just used what I could make work, but they're so cute. I love this one walking the dog too. And then I stuck little bows on them to make them little girly ghosts, but love it. So fun. This will be a really fun budget to work through. But we are pretty much ready, you guys. So we've essentially got all of the paychecks for October mapped out. So when we go to do our budget by paycheck, we know what's gonna go with what. I put 2 boxes over here generally in my spread. I like to focus on what my debt and my savings goal for the month is going to be. All right, friends, I was able to hunt down some more stickers from my Live Love Posh book, so I figured why not use them? If I can use a sticker for something, you know, I'm gonna do it. I've got a problem, a real problem, you guys. All right, let's put this one for our debt. No, that is, all right, I'm gonna shuffle my book all around. Guys, this is why I don't do plan with me's, because I am too particular. Okay, I think that's straighter. Let's label the savings one. Hope we do better. Okay, that looks good to me. Let's turn it this way and see. I think the crookedness of the way I laid the boxes was throwing me off. All right, so our debt for October is still looking like we're gonna focus on that Wells Fargo credit card. And then for savings, you guys, I'm gonna just note in here holidays, because we're gonna start focusing on saving for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're gonna really start beefing those up. So that's probably where we'll focus our savings attention. All right, you guys, we are set. We are ready for October, just about ready to go into November even as far as budgeting goes, but at least we're ready for the next month when paydays start coming in. I'm excited, it's looking pretty good. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Thank you, friends, for joining me for another video. If you like this one, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to stick around, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.